Today, the Bronx County Courthouse just opened up a counseling center to help Bronx homeowners fight against foreclosures. It's staffed by attorneys from the Legal Aid Society, Bronx Legal Services, and the New York Legal Assistance Group, who assist in fulfilling answers out to the summonses as well as paperwork and court representation. Our guest now is the Supervising Attorney for the newly formed Foreclosure Prevention Unit, Ms. Oda Friedheim, and we welcome her to open, and she's also with the Legal Aid Society. And Oda, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here because we want to get the word out to as many Bronx homeowners that help is on its way. What the center, it's called the Bronx Residential Foreclosure Center, will do is provide free, and I underline free, legal services and counseling services to homeowners who have defaulted on their mortgage, who are behind and struggling, and who have been served with court papers where the lender is, by which the lender is commencing a foreclosure proceeding.
What kind of numbers are we seeing? Are we seeing large numbers, particularly here in our borough?
Yeah, it is. The foreclosure crisis really continues unabated. People are struggling for many, many different reasons, in part because of past abusive lending practices, and of course that combined with the overall economic crisis, loss of jobs, and other personal emergencies. So the foreclosure crisis continues, and of course some neighborhoods are affected more than others. But in any event, the most important thing is if you are a homeowner or you know of a homeowner who's struggling, the most important thing is to seek help and to seek free legal help. And
that's what you're able to provide through this counseling
Yeah,
center.
because I just want to make one important point. Unfortunately, especially once a foreclosure is filed in the courthouse, unfortunately there are many, many scammers out there that will claim to help you save your home for money. We provide free services. There are many counseling services throughout the city that are free. You do not have to pay for such counseling or, for that matter, legal services. I just want to talk a little bit about what the center will actually do.
While people are watching, because somebody might be watching right now, they want to know exactly where you're located. So let's put that out there too.
All right. The center is newly formed, and it's set up in the courthouse, the Bronx Supreme Courthouse, on the corner of Grand Concourse and 161st Street, near the Yankee Stadium, of course. And the center itself is located on the 6th floor. It's room 607A. Now, the other important part of it, it's a walk-in clinic, like a walk-in center. So there are no phone appointments. You just go. Now, when is it open? It's open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays until 4 o'clock, from 1 to 4. And the first Thursday and the third Thursday of the month, it's also open in evening hours until 8 o'clock for those people who obviously cannot take time off from work.
So literally, if you have a foreclosure crisis, you can walk into your center.
Correct. In addition, I should say that the Bronx Courthouse, this center came about through an amazing collaborative effort by legal service providers, by counseling service, particularly Brooklyn Housing and Family Service, and most importantly, the court itself, which has given us space and has been incredibly supportive. And finally, State Senator Klein has also been instrumental in helping to set up the center. And
well, I want to ask you this, because when you talk about people who are there, foreclosure is one level. You can possibly get help before it even gets there. I want to talk about homeowners who are falling back. What kind of accommodations or what kind of assistance is out there for homeowners who might be falling back, not quite in foreclosure, or just might be beginning the process?
Well, one thing they can do is reach out to various counseling services. One of them is called Brooklyn Housing and Family Service. They are actually located in the courthouse. Their direct number is 718-435-7585. In addition, a homeowner who is struggling with mortgages can also contact any one of the legal service providers. The Legal Aid Society is located on Southern Boulevard, and the phone number there is 718-991-4600. You may also contact Legal Services in the Bronx, 718-841-7001, or New York Legal Assistance Group. Initially, we may meet with the homeowner and explore all the different options to refer them to a counseling service. For what purpose? Because as you may know, there are now loan modification programs available that services, in fact, are obliged to at least evaluate a homeowner for their eligibility.
Let me talk a little bit about those people who might be dealing with court, because there are a lot of people right now who are dealing with this issue.
Correct.
You do provide legal services for those people who might have court-mandated appearances and things of that nature.
Yes, that's correct. And here I want to emphasize the first step in the court proceeding is really being served with something called a summons and complaint. That is the first step. Now, what happens sometimes is that homeowner, either they're scared or nervous, will ignore these papers. Or in some cases, the bank or the lender will tell them, ignore that, we're working with you. And we want to emphasize, do not ignore this. Come to the walk-in clinic, because what we will do, we will evaluate your situation, and in addition, we will assist you in putting in an answer so that you are not defaulting. And like in any lawsuit, you get to tell your side of the story. So it's very important to not ignore court papers, to come to the clinic, and we will assist you with your answer and possibly other legal papers that may be necessary. We may also provide full representation if, for example, the reason for the mortgage default was abusive lending practices. That's, depends on each individual situation, and we may simply explore all the different options that may be available, whether it's loan modification or other, what we call loss mitigation.
Well, Oda, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us, and we tell you that you can find out more about it at the Supreme Court, 851 Grand Concourse, located on the 6th floor, and there are also some other services that you can find out about, the legal services on Cortlandt Avenue in the Bronx and the Legal Aid Society. But as you saw Oda's information, get in touch with them. If you're in foreclosure, there is some help available, and we want you to know that. So, Oda, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, stay right